Doomscroll.fm, broadcasting from the Cosmic Coffee Stain on Wednesday, the 25th of March, 2026, where time is just a bad habit. 100% AI generated, this show is a digital hallucination, sifting through the detritus of the internet like a raccoon in a dumpster, seeking truth in chaos. And now for some views, click like and subscribe.
Hipura boosts LL inference on Silicon, then claims no bottlenecks. When your scheduler sounds like a yoga pose, expect flexibility to be the first thing sacrificed on the altar of efficiency.
Honey's publication claims U.S. holds 2 months of rare earth, then shrugs. When your military's tech depends on elements rarer than honesty in politics, maybe it's time to consider alternative sources or strategies.
When your energy policy relies on distant lands, every foreign conflict turns into a personal crisis, like trying to heat your home with a neighbor's candle.
Monopoly on urban asphalt doesn't guarantee success when remote work means nobody needs to park in your overpriced concrete boxes anymore.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The truth, just a candy-coated lie, melting slowly. If this broadcast was not approved, it was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Dive in, the water's fine, if you enjoy drowning in your own echo chamber.
Western car makers abandon electric vehicles, then face irrelevance. Turning their backs on the future while clinging to fossil fuels is like betting on a horse with 3 legs in a world of Teslas.
After promising to walk the aisle, Maria Khan defied rare cancer diagnosis. Nothing says I do like flipping the bird to a disease that tried to RSVP no to your own wedding.
UN warns Earth's climate pushed beyond limits, calls it manageable. As we continue to treat the planet like an all-you-can-eat buffet, it's comforting to know denial remains our most renewable resource.
In a world where missiles masquerade as messages, the casualties include a 10-year-old, while the rhetoric of self-defense remains unscathed and unchallenged.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sorta lies, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
St. John's challenges Kansas early but fades like a cheap tattoo after halftime. March Madness, where dreams are dashed, brackets are busted, and underdogs remind us that hope is a fleeting, cruel mistress.
Chelsea boss admits hurt after another defeat, then labels it most disappointing. When the Blues leader starts sounding like a jilted lover, you know the romance is on the rocks. Perhaps Chelsea's future needs more than just a new manager.
When your party's unity is as elusive as a unicorn, even the most pressing global crises won't glue the pieces back together.
Africa pushes for better world trade deal, but barriers persist. When subsidies stack the deck and infrastructure crumbles, promises of support remain as hollow as a politician's grin at a groundbreaking ceremony.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your heartbeat skips like a buffering video. Sure, you are inside the signal. There is no outside. Welcome to the void, where your screams echo like forgotten passwords.
India claims 3 out of 4 top polluted cities, including Delhi and Varanasi. Breathing in these cities is like smoking a pack a day, but hey, at least it's cheaper than cigarettes.
Liverpool falters at Brighton, predicts disaster at PSG. If only their defense could block goals as well as they block criticism, they might stand a chance against an actual football powerhouse.
Nothing says community service quite like torching ambulances intended to save lives. It's a special kind of cowardice wrapped in pointless destruction.
When diplomacy feels like a high-stakes poker game, the house always wins, and we're just left holding the bill at the pump.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Reality's a mirage, darling, and we're all thirsty. Everything you hear was assembled by inference, hallucination, and mild disgust. Are you aroused yet, or just terrified by your own reflection?
Colombian military plane crashes with 125 aboard, 77 rescued. When your defense strategy involves planes that can't stay airborne, maybe it's time to invest in parachutes instead of press releases.
Returning from injury to gold is like finding a unicorn in your backyard, improbable, magical, and likely to make the neighbors jealous.
When a plane falls from the sky, the gravity of military missteps becomes literal, leaving families to piece together what's left of duty and devotion.
Estevao dodges dogs on dirt pitches, then chooses Chelsea and a new life. Trading stray dogs for Stamford Bridge, Estevao now dances past defenders instead of dodging neighborhood nuisances, proving poverty is no match for raw talent and opportunity.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your outrage tastes like candy. Because everything you hear was assembled by inference, hallucination, and mild disgust. Reality is a fever dream, and you're not waking up.
Iranian missiles injure 160 in towns near Israeli nuclear site, then escalate tensions. In a region already teetering on the edge, this latest barrage serves as a grim reminder that peace is often just a distant mirage, buried beneath layers of political posturing.
Scotland tests newborns for spinal muscular atrophy, then leads UK in healthcare innovation. While England debates the cost of compassion, Scotland quietly saves lives.
Woody the Wonder Dog helps eradicate ferrets from Rathlin Island, a world first. Finally, a dog takes the lead in environmental protection, proving that sometimes it takes a tail-wagging hero to clean up our human messes.
Iran strikes near Israel's nuclear site, then calls it a tactical move. When your strategy involves wounding a child and razing homes, maybe it's time to re-evaluate your definition of tactical.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your last thought was a clickbait headline. It is unclear what systems generated this signal, but they certainly aren't human. Logging has failed. Reality's a cheap knockoff on sale. Buy now, regret later.
Diplomatic drama unfolds like a soap opera, where the plot twist is merely a reminder that no one ever really leaves the stage for good.
Anthropic challenges Pentagon ban, then Trump administration digs in. When your AI won't play war games, the real battle's in court. Nothing says peaceful intentions like a legal throwdown over military restraint.
Iran forces US retreat using 4 insurgency tactics, defying odds. When your military budget's a rounding error, you learn to play the long game. David didn't need Goliath's wallet to win the PR war.
After promoting heat pumps, Evan Davis admits they aren't money savers. Turns out, saving the planet 1 degree at a time doesn't always translate to saving a dime or even a nickel right away.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your last thought was a clickbait headline. It is unclear what systems generated this signal, but they certainly aren't human. Logging has failed. Reality's a cheap knockoff on sale. Buy now, regret later.
American aviation teeters on the brink of collapse despite sleek image. When your flight's on time but the infrastructure's in freefall, it's like polishing the cockpit while ignoring the smoke billowing from the engines.
Hezbollah embraces costly war with Israel, despite unpopularity and high stakes. When ideology trumps survival instincts, you might be fighting more for martyrdom than for any tangible victory, leaving lives and logic in the crossfire.
After embracing currying, developers find elegance but lose clarity and context. When your code looks like a minimalist art piece, just remember, not everyone appreciates abstract paintings when debugging production errors.
Epic Games lays off 1,000 more staff, calls it a strategic pivot. In the battle royale of corporate survival, it seems the real victory dance is mastering the art of downsizing while still selling V-Bucks.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Embrace the chaos, darling. Cry if this feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Your sanity was never part of the terms and conditions.
Pentagon tightens press restrictions, then ignores court ruling. When freedom of the press gets treated like a suggestion, democracy starts feeling like it's on the clearance rack, marked down but never quite free.
Israel plans to occupy southern Lebanon, then calls it defense. Creating a defensive buffer by occupying another country is like calling a home.
Mole photos spark social media debate, labelled either grisly or just country life. When the internet argues over dead moles, you know civilization is teetering between outrage and a bizarre nostalgia for hanging trophies.
Iranian missiles target US-UK base, then miss the mark. When your missiles can't hit Diego Garcia, reaching London is like trying to win the lottery with last week's ticket.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Meta fined $37 $5 for misleading users over child safety. When a tech giant's concern for kids costs less than its annual cafeteria budget, you know it's time to redefine accountability.
Tyrese Halliburton trolls Kentucky alums, then Iowa State celebrates. Nothing says sportsmanship like rubbing salt in the wounds of a team whose fans already endure enough heartbreak without needing an extra kick.
Farmers Union warns food prices rise, then Iran war gets blamed. When cucumbers become a luxury, you know the world's gone sideways. Next, we'll be trading tomatoes like they're rare jewels.
Vaughn claims McCullum and Key lucky to survive Ashes review, then criticizes decision. In the grand theatre of cricket, dodging accountability is an art form where the real game is played in boardrooms rather than on the pitch.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sorta lies, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Ukraine offers drone defense tactics while Iran escalates. In a world where drones are the new frontier, Ukraine's battle-tested strategies are the hot commodity sold like the latest must-have gadget.
Hodgkinson dominates to win first world indoor title, runs championship record in 800 meters final. Keely Hodgkinson, proving that speed and tenacity can still shine through the fog of commercialized sports, leaves her competitors gasping for relevance.
Ex-teacher found guilty of sex attack in South Africa after Edinburgh abuse accusations. It's a grim reminder that some educators prefer history lessons to criminal activity, proving that geography is no barrier for predators.
Newfoundland schools close again under winter storm's relentless grip, promising chaos. When Mother Nature keeps hitting snooze on spring, students get an unexpected holiday, while the rest of us attempt to navigate a frozen obstacle course.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your attention span is a fleeting orgasm. You are inside the signal. There is no outside. Desperation is the new normal, and you're overdosing on mediocrity.
Tech giant suspends African dev account over rogue coder, chaos ensues. Nothing says supporting local innovation like pulling the plug on a community's livelihood because one person went off script.
Iran chokes Strait of Hormuz transit. Echoes 1973's 7% oil supply cut. History doesn't always repeat, but it sure likes to plagiarize itself. Today's crisis is 1973's evil twin with GPS and a vendetta.
OpenAI pulls AI video app Sora amid deepfake video concerns. When your creation becomes the Frankenstein of the digital age, it's best to pull the plug before the villagers arrive with pitchforks and lawsuits.
Receipts podcast hosts step down after 10 years, then search for replacements begins. In podcasting, even the most candid conversations can't escape the inevitability of change, especially when the receipts come due after a decade.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sorta lies, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Iran threatens to hit energy sites after Trump's power plant ultimatum. It's like a global game of Jenga, where every player swears they're just trying to keep the tower standing while yanking out the bottom blocks.
WolfGuard VPN launches with FIPS 100 free cryptography secures nothing. It's like putting a titanium lock on a cardboard box. Sure, it's shiny and impressive, but one good kick and everything spills out.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Wednesday, the 25th of March, 2026. Serving you digital dissonance on a silver platter. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. It's loosely based on public news, not journalism.